Hi, this is Derek, and welcome to another video of the Action Machine 3, a preview of the Action Machine 3. And actually this is the final video where I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of additional new features and enhancements that I've made to the Action Machine before I actually launch it, which will be happening very soon. So stay tuned to my blog at derekfranklinonline.com for the launch announcement. And so let's get into this video, and the topic of this video and the features that we're going to be looking at relate to tracking your progress within the Action Machine. Now, since version 2, the Action Machine has had a reporting feature, which in the previous version could be accessed by clicking a link here that said report. Well, that's been replaced with an icon, a button. Okay, so I'm going to click the report button here and show you some of the enhancements to the report feature. Now, the biggest enhancement, in addition to the interface, has been cleaned up a little bit and changed a little bit, and you'll notice that as you use the software. But generally speaking, it's pretty much the same, only some cosmetic changes largely. But the biggest change to the reporting feature that you'll see, and I had a lot of requests for, is that you can now include notes in your report. Okay, so as you know, if you're a user of the Action Machine, each action that you create a timer from and you complete, each action can have a set of notes associated with that action. Okay, and to display notes, you use these, and hide notes, you use these two buttons right here, the plus and minus. Now, before I do that, let me close the report panel here and just show you kind of how it works. So let's say you have this this timer here called Business and Project Development, and you've added the notes that you can see over here, put together project presentation. That's just some simple notes I added to this timer. Okay, so when I complete this timer and go to the report function, we'll click to generate a report, you can see now that that is displayed right there. That particular action, that completed timer, how much was scheduled, how much time it actually took, and the difference between those two. Now, you don't see the notes right away. By default, you will not see the notes because some notes can get really long, and so I've created the reporting feature so that notes are initially turned off, so you don't see them initially. Okay, so to change that though, excuse me, you come down here and you push the plus button, which it says include notes and report, and once you do that, you can see that notes are now displayed under the actual name of the action. So under Business Project Development, you'll see the notes are here, put together project presentation. And the notes can be as long as you want. Now, one thing to be aware of is if the notes contain HTML, like bold and italics and links and things like that, they won't show in the report itself. And the reason for this is that by looking at the report, you can see that it's just a simple text-based information with no special formatting whatsoever. Okay, it's very basic formatting, nothing bold, nothing italics, nothing linked. And so that's why you don't see HTML within the report, because it's just a simple text report. And so be aware of this whenever you're creating notes for your actions and things like that, to not include HTML. Such as you see here, you can see that this timer, Clean and Organized Automobile, has some links and has some formatting of bolding and things like that, which will not be included in the report. That's HTML formatting. So just keep your notes, if you're going to use them and want to use them in your report itself, keep them basic. Don't include any formatting, because if you do include HTML, you'll see a little indicator here that says notes contain HTML. That's letting you know that they won't be included in the report, although there are some notes there. So keep them simple. And this particular action here, write a letter, has no notes whatsoever. Hence, when you click the include notes, nothing's included there. If you want to hide notes again, you just click this button here, and that will reformat the report automatically so that the notes aren't included. Okay, and of course with notes included you can copy the report, save it, print it, whatever you want to do with it. So a big feature request that's been added there, the inclusion of notes. Now the other main feature that I'm going to talk about in this video, and this is the last big feature of the new version of the Action Machine, is called the Scoreboard. And you can see that right here. Currently it says 24 of 55. Now what does that mean? Well, I found that in addition to the report that you just saw and this number here that indicates the number of completed actions that you've done since you started generating data for the report. Actually, let me show you a couple things here in the report. You can see that the report shows, based on all the completed actions here on the left hand side of the interface, these are all of the actions that have you've completed, and they've been saved, and that data has all been tabulated into this report to show you what you've spent time on, how much time you've spent on it, and so forth. So when you look at the overall totals in this report, you'll see that two important numbers. First of all, total actions completed, that's 17, so there are 17 total actions completed over here, and the amount of actual time it took to complete those actions are 24 hours and 37 minutes and 37 seconds. Okay, so keep those two things in mind. Let me close the report now. And you can see that on the interface, 17 here represents the number of completed actions that were displayed on the report. Okay, we talked about this a little bit in a previous video, but that's just something to be aware of. Now, let's talk about the scoreboard feature here, this new feature within the Action Machine. Now, what this does is it helps you to track your progress and kind of set a goal, and you work to achieve that goal, which is the whole idea behind using timers and actions within the Action Machine. You know that it's all about determining ahead of time what you want to complete, and then tracking it and taking action in order to complete those actions. That's what the scoreboard does here. And the way it works is essentially you set a time, an hour goal for the week or every 2 weeks or whatever. For me, I've set 55 hours. Okay, that's how many hours of action I want to complete for the week. What I've completed so far is only 24 hours. And you'll notice that there's some little dots here to the left of this number figure here, this number display. And the grayed out dots, there are 55 grayed out dots, but there are 24 lit dots. So that means out of my time goal of 55 hours, I've done 24 hours worth of action this week. And how is this tabulated? First of all, the 24 hours. If we go back to the report panel, that data comes from this number right here. Total actual time that you've completed, number of actions you've completed is 24 hours, 37 minutes, and 37 seconds. So the scoreboard shows 24 hours. That's a rounded down number that's captured from this value right here. Alright? So 24 hours, I've done 24 hours worth of work, and I've set a goal of 55 hours. Now how do I set that value of 55 hours? Well, I come over here and I customize the scoreboard by clicking this button right here. And you can see that there's a series of dots that display on the panel that slides out. And so, for example, if I want to shoot for 45 hours, a time goal of 45 hours for the week, I'll come over here and move my mouse over the dots until I get to 45. And you can see that this box says, instead of current, it switches to set to 45. And when I do that, the scoreboard automatically updates. So I'm now at 24 hours of my 45 hour goal. Alright, so if I want to change that again, I can also just click one of these, which are quick setting buttons that allow me to choose whether 50 hours, 100, 150 hours, 200 hours. Now, you may be wondering, why in the world would I want to set 200 hours as a time goal for a week? Well, that's the beauty of this feature, is you customize it to fit your needs. So let's say you track your actions in your report once a month as opposed to once a week, and you only come down here and clear all your actions once a month. Well, then maybe you're setting a monthly goal of 200 hours worth of actions that you want to complete. So you're only at it would only be at 24 hours of that 200-hour goal for the month if I track my actions on a monthly basis. I like to do it on a weekly basis, so I would probably set this at 45 to 50 hours like that, which will automatically update the scoreboard. Okay? Now, obviously, as you've seen, the information and the data tabulated on the scoreboard is tied directly with the report. That's the data that's tabulated for the report. So anytime you clear all the actions here, I'm going to clear all the actions, hit close, I've reset the scoreboard. Okay, so I'm starting with a clean slate. I'm now at 0 hours of actions that I've been tracking against my 50-hour goal. Alright, so this is just a nifty little feature and a nice little tool that you can use to track your progress on a weekly basis quickly, so you can have a visual of where you are in the scheme of things and whether or not you really need to crank up what you're doing for today and tomorrow and the rest of the week if you're falling behind on your time goal here. Okay, and so that is the scoreboard feature, and I hope that you find that useful, as with all the new enhancements of the Action Machine 3. So have a great day.